investment-based EB5.
Investment. Okay.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another engaging episode of our live stream series. Today's discussion promises to be both insightful and informative as we explore the topic how to secure a green card through investment. I'm Maliha, and I'll be your host for today's session. Securing a green card through investment has become a popular and viable option for foreign nationals seeking permanent residency in the United States. As global interest in investment based visa immigration grows, the EB5 program provides a unique opportunity for individuals seeking to secure residency in the United States while contributing to the economic development. To help us navigate the trajectory of the process, joining us is a renowned US immigration attorney. He is specialized in all aspects of business immigration matters. His practice focuses on the immigration related needs of his clients. He renders strategic and tactical counsel to corporate and individual clients to navigate the complex US immigration procedures. Please welcome with me once again Attorney Sonu Lal.
Thank you, Malia. Thank you for that kind introduction. And
Thank you
hello,
so
hello
much for
everyone.
joining us today, sir. Thanks a lot for joining us today, sir. To our audience streaming from various social platforms, join us on this insightful journey. Should you have any questions for Mr. Lal, kindly drop your inquiries in the chat box. We will be addressing all of those shortly. Mr. Sonulal, to kick things off, I'd like to start with a foundational question that I'm sure many of you are, like many of our audience are wondering. What exactly is the investment-based green card and how exactly does it work?
First of all, thanks for having me. Just to give you a background information about EB5 program. In general, the US immigration system, particularly the employment-based immigration, is divided into several categories: EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5. Since today we are talking about EB5, I'll focus on that. EB5, uh, EB5 means employment-based, basically. And this program essentially started in 1990s. Back then, it was not that popular, but within last a decade or so, it has become hugely popular. The program, as of today, as it stands, with several recent changes, particularly the changes in 2020, as of today, this is where we are. Anyone who wants to get a US green card based on investment can get a green card through this program. What are the basic requirements of this program? You should be investing $1,050,000 in the US economy in a new business enterprise. And your business should be creating 10 US jobs. This is in a very simple language that I can say what this program is, but there are certain nuances, certain different angles, or certain different aspects of this program. But essentially, you are investing $1,050,000 in a new commercial enterprise, and you are creating 10 jobs for the US worker, and then you can get a green card. But there are certain complexities. I'll talk briefly about what those complexities are, and how the program can be used in a variety of forms. So the minimum requirement in general is $1,050,000. But if you are investing or your new commercial enterprise is in a targeted employment area, In that case, your investment can be as low as $800,000. So that's the difference between the normal program and where you are investing in a targeted employment area where your investment can be $800,000. Now, this program has two facets. One is where you are making your investment through a regional center. Another one where you are making a direct EB5 investment. I'll give you two examples. Let's say I'm a businessman from India. I want to get a green card, US green card, and I want to open maybe let's say, for example, I want to open a hotel. So I can invest at a minimum if that hotel is going to be situated in a targeted employment area, meaning where the unemployment is on an average 150% of the national average. Let's say my hotel is located in that location, I can invest $800,000 at a minimum, create a business plan. The business plan will provide details that based on this investment, I'll be creating 10 US jobs. I can file that application. That application is called Standalone EB5 Investment, filed on Form I-526. I can apply for it. If I'm already in the US, I can also file what is called 45 adjustment of status. If I'm not in the US, then I have to wait for that 526 to be approved, and then I can do consular processing, come to US. That's a standalone EB5 program. But very few cases are filed under this program. But I've noticed in the last couple of 2, 3 years, a lot of people are filing standalone EB5 investment also. Now let's talk about regional center EB5 investment, where most of the EB5 cases are being filed. And through this program, the regional center EB5 program, most people get their green card. Now with regional center program, you are not actually directly be involved in that business. You are in a way kind of giving your money to invest someone else in a business, and you will get green card through that. So what's the difference between standalone EB5 investment and regional center investment? The big difference is how you are going to show to USCIS that the 10 jobs will be created for US worker. With standalone EB5 investment, where you are making a direct investment and you are going to manage that business, you have to show that 10 direct jobs were created through your business. But if you are investing through a regional center, you can show indirect job creation, meaning the particular business where you invested the EB5 money, that business may not be creating direct jobs, but it may be creating indirect jobs through that business. So that's a huge difference between the standalone EB5 investment and regional center investment. Other main difference is normally since you are investing that EB5 in a regional center through a different entity, you have very less say or you have very less day-to-day duties in that business. The third party or the regional center, whoever is managing the regional center, will be managing that investment in that business. Essentially, those kinds of programs are the businesses where the entities are involved. They are mainly doing kind of big construction project, or maybe they are building big hotel or some infrastructure project. But that's the difference between standalone EB5 and regional center EB5 investment. Now, the second difference, which is kind of recent one, wherein the law was changed in 2022. Earlier, even if you were present in the US, for filing your adjustment of status application, the 485, you would have to wait for the 526 or the EB5 petition to be approved. But now, since the law changed, you can do concurrent EB5 filing, which means you can submit your green card application if you are in the US at the same time when you're filing your EB5 petition. And then what's the benefit of that? The benefit is you can get your employment authorization and travel document at the same time. And you don't have to wait for 526, your EB5 petition, to be approved before you can file your green card application. However, if you are outside US, in that case, you still have to wait for your 526 to be approved to be able to get your green card. So that's the basic how this program stands as of today. But now, why this program becomes relevant for people who are already in the US? It becomes relevant because of the backlog in EB2 and EB3 categories. So people who are already working under EB2 or EB3 categories in the US, they already have I-140 approved, but there is a backlog. They cannot get the green card for many, many years. So that's where this program becomes relevant. People who are in that situation, they can get green card sooner with this EB5 program. Now, when I talk to people, normally people say, we don't have that much money as our own. What other option do we have? How can we arrange that much money? $800,000. So to answer that, uh, there can be different sources of fund to show that you have $800,000. Let's say you have been working in the US for a long time, and you probably have $200,000, $300,000, not $800,000. What you can do is there are several sources of fund that you can use for the DB5 investment. Number one, you can take a loan. That's number one. So let's say you have 300,000 of your own money, you can get a 500,000 loan and invest in an EP5 program. That's how you can get a green card. Or let's say you have a real estate lying somewhere, maybe in the US, maybe outside US. You can sell that, get the money, and use that money for EP5 investment. Or let's say you don't have your own money, but your family has. You can get a loan from your family. You can get a gift from your family member if they can give you, and you can use that money for the EP5 investment. That's how you can solve your that problem being backlogged in EB2 or EB3 categories. So that's how you can get your green card sooner with this EB5 program. And Malia, if you have any questions from our audience, we can take questions.
Yes, we have a lot of questions and we are also open for more. So if we have anyone from the audience who'd like to ask questions, you can also call us or you can drop it in the chat box. We have a question coming from Mr. Henry. If I sell my investment after obtaining a green card, will that affect my status in the future?
So once you have obtained your permanent green card, yeah, then definitely you can sell uh, your investment. But keep in mind that the initial green card that you get, it's going to be for 3 years, for 2 years, and then it's a conditional green card, and then you have to file another application to remove that conditionality. You cannot sell your investment before you get your permanent green card, not the temporary green card. Once you get your permanent green card, then yes, you can dispose of your investment.
Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Sunulal. Moving on to our next point, one of the main considerations for potential investors is understanding the type of investments that they can make. Can you give us an insight on the of investments that are eligible under the EB5 program and how can one choose the best option?
So there are two answers to this question. First, if you are doing a standalone direct investment, so it can be any kind of business. You have to do your homework, what business you want to opt for, what kind of business you are investing in. You have to do due diligence, your research, and all that. That's the first part. Second part, when you are doing investment through regional center. In that case, you have to be a little careful, little cautious, because in the past there have been certain instances where people invested their money through regional center, and then the regional center turned out to be not very legitimate or efficient or not right for their investment. So if you are investing through regional center program, then you have to do a due diligence about their regional center, who the promoters are, what kind of business it is. You have to do your homework altogether, specifically if you are investing through a regional center program.
Absolutely, Mr. Sonulal. I totally agree with you on that. Moving on to my next point, having outlined the investment options now, I would like us to address something I know many people are eager to learn about, the application timeline, of course. How long does it typically take to get a green card through investment, and what are the key steps of this process?
So again, there are two sides of this. One is if you are already in the US, then the timeline and the process will differ. If you are outside US, then again the timeline and process will differ. So let's talk about the first scenario first. Let's say you are already in the US in a different non-immigrant status. Let's say you are on H-1B or L-1. In that case, you can do concurrent filing, meaning you can file your EB-5 petition on 526, and you can also file your adjustment of status application 485 at the same time. Once you file it, within a couple of months, you will get your advance parole document and employment authorization document. You will not get your green card immediately. You will get your green card only once your EB-5 petition, which is 526, is approved. Now, the processing time for 526 differs variedly, meaning in recently we have seen few cases getting approved within less than 1 year, which is very, very rare. On an average, the EB-5 petition processing time would take somewhere around between 1 year to maybe 3, 4 years. During this time, you can travel with your advance parole document and you will be authorized to work based on the employment authorization document that you receive. Once your EB-5 petition is approved, you will get your temporary green card, which is valid for 2 years. So that's how the process when you are already in the US. If you are outside US, then you have to wait for the 526 to be approved before getting your green card.
Absolutely, Mr. Sonulal. Thank you so much for taking your time and explaining everything in depth. Before I could move on, this is for the audience, whether you're just tuning in or have been with us from the start. This is immigrationquestion.com live streaming program. Immigrationquestion.com is transforming how immigrants connect with experienced immigration attorneys. Ask your questions for free and we'll connect you with a verified attorney on our platform. We like to call it the meeting place for immigrants and attorneys alike. For attorneys, Immigration Question is your chance to grow your practice significantly. Sign up today and start boosting your firm's growth. Please keep your questions coming in. Our special guest will be answering them shortly. So, Mr. Sonulal, moving on to our the last question, perhaps before the Q&A session. I'm sure that an exciting benefit of this program is that it's just not the investor who benefits. I'm sure our audience is eager to know, can family members such as spouses, children, can also obtain green cards through the EB-5 program.
Yes, the investor's family can also get their green card, and it need not be different investment. Only the investor has to invest that money, and the family members meaning the spouse and the children who are under 21. If they are over 21, then they won't be eligible to get the green card. Only children under 21 can get the green card along with the investor.
Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Sunulal. We'll open the floor now for question and answers. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat box and we'll try to address as many as possible. You can also call us on 516-703-3483 to ask your questions to Mr. Sonulal live. So we have a question from Mr. Sheng. I'm into business from China. I'm interested in the EB-5 program but want to minimize my direct involvement in US business. How can a regional center investment help me achieve my green card goals?
Yeah, it's a good question, a very relevant question. Sometimes people want to invest and get the green card, but they don't want to be involved in a day-to-day functioning uh, of that business. So investing through regional center is a great thing for people in that situation where they don't want to be involved in the day-to-day operation of that business. In the regional center scenario, the regional center or the entity who's managing that EB5 project will be involved in the day-to-day functioning of that project. What you are doing is you are just kind of giving your money and you are getting your green card. So that's how the regional center investment can help you achieving that goal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Sunulal. Moving on to our next question from Homa. I own multiple small businesses in Trinidad. If I invest in a new business in the United States, will that count towards my green card application, or does it have to be a new venture?
No, so your investment or your business is in Trinidad or any third country will not be counted towards your EB5 investment. It has to be a new investment. It has to be in the United States.
Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Sunulal. We have another question from Mr. Obirioy. Is EB5 capped and do you require proof of source of funds?
Definitely, that's the most important aspect of any EB5 petition. When we are filing it, we provide a ton of documents just to show how the investor got their money. We provide in very detail the source of the fund, how the funds were acquired to invest in this EB5 investment project.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for explaining it in depth, Mr. Sonulal. We have another question from Mr. Vincent. Can an I-526 application be approved with $200,000 investment alone before the actual $8,000 investment completes?
No, it will not be. It has to be $800,000 full amount.
Thank you, Mr. Sunulal. Moving on to our next question. Can I include my family members in EB5 application?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And if you are already in the US, your family is already in the US, all of you at the same time can file your adjustment of status application.
Thank you so much again, Mr. Sunulal. Moving on to our next question from Topika. My business partner and I want to invest together in the United States. Can both of us apply for a green card through same investment, or does it only apply to one person?
It's a very good question. We get this question a lot. You both can, let's say you have there even not even two, there are four partners. You four can get the green card, but provided each individual will be investing the investment amount. Let's say here they're investing in a hotel in a targeted employment area. Then each investor will be investing $800,000. So total investment will be $2.4 million. Yes, and then they can get the green card through EB5, all four.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Sunulal. We have next question from Mr. Ahmed. Can my family also get green cards if I apply for an investment-based green card? I think we've already answered it, but however, if you'd like to take it.
So your family can also get it, but provided the children must be under 21.
Thank you so much for the valuable insight and in-depth discussion of the entire topic, Mr. Sonulal. Before we could wrap up, if you have any advice for the audience.
I would just say to folks who are in the US already and they belong to backlogged countries, it's a great program to consider if you have issues about that you don't have that much money. I already spoke about how you can show the source of fund, but it's a great program if you want to consider it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Sonulal. Just before we could wrap up, we have a lot of questions coming. If you can just take it. Are there any regional centers that offer lower investment options?
No, the investment has to be 800,000. It cannot go lower than that.
Thank you, Mr. Sonulal. We have a question from Mr. Vincent again. Someone applying for EB5 today, when are they likely to get their green card?
Within 1 to 3 years on an average.
All right. We have another question from Ms. Hira. Are there any chances of not getting the green card despite the investment? If yes, then in what situations?
Normally, it doesn't happen, but let's say there are issues with the investment of the jobs were not created as shown in the business plan. In that case, USCIS might deny the EB-5 petition.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the in depth explanation, Mr. Sonulal. Thank you all for joining us today. A special thank you to our guest speaker who handled the topic with such precision and expertise. You really took us on a journey, and we cannot wait to have you back on the show, Mr. Sonulal.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. We hope this webinar helped shed light and answered your key questions on securing a green card through investment. Visit our website at immigrationquestion.com to connect with experienced immigration attorneys who can guide you through your unique situation. If you missed any part of this session, or would like to listen it again, catch us on Spotify. This live stream is being recorded and will be live for listening on Spotify. Simply search Borderless Talk by immigrationquestion.com and listen to today's session and previous ones on the go. See you at our next session at the same time every Friday at 2:30 p.m. EST. We would have a seasoned attorney who will be doing justice to the topic, navigating the EB2 national interest waiver. Attorney Jude Ezule will be joining us next week. Please make it a date with us. Thank you so much, everyone. Until then, stay informed and empowered in your immigration journey. Have a great day.